happening in Washington. It's been hitting stocks hard, and there's a lot of concern about risks to social media platforms going forward. Do you share those concerns?
I think that some of the biggest challenges for the social media companies have been when they haven't had a good sense for what sort of content is propagating. And so the ones that have a more of a lockdown ability of controlling who is going to be putting content on the service have a better, have a more control over how that spreads.
Who do you think has a good handle on that?
Well, Snap with Discover, because it hand selects who's going to be on Discover, unlike an open platform where anyone can publish anything.
You were an early investor in Snap. We've talked about that. Snap's been getting dragged down as well. Shares are down 30% so far this year, even as they're announcing new spectacles. Is it fair for Snap to be dragged into the broader social media muck?
I believe in the company and its ability to really drive breakthrough product innovation. And you can see to what degree the innovation that Snap has delivered has really influenced the entire industry, stories being a great example. So I'm a big believer in the company and in its ability to really change the landscape.
Well, look, it's clear. Instagram and Facebook have copied many of Snap's features, including stories. That said, they have the scale and the resources to continue to do that. Like, do you think Snap can recover? Take them on.
As I said, I really believe in the team there and in their innovation. And while other companies can eventually try to emulate what they've pioneered, each time they do that, they create a step of an advance over the rest.
That said, we're seeing not just Snap, but Facebook and Twitter plateau when it comes to user growth. Do you think we're at a social media peak?
I think that what we're going to see is more usage coming from more users. And so in the West, I think it's reasonable to think that actually it's going to be harder for you to see more social media users. But as the internet continues to grow in the developing world, I think we've still got plenty more users to come.
That said, is there room for a fledgling social network, or are these it?
Well, I think people have called the top for technology many, many times. They said AOL dominates the world and there's not going to be an opportunity. And then they said Yahoo dominates and there's never going to be another opportunity. In fact, before then there was Microsoft that no one could compete with. So I believe in startups and their ability to always disrupt the status quo.
So what do you think the opportunities are? Where are you seeing growth? What are you excited about?
One of the things that I'm excited about right now is a raft of companies that are being led and founded by people who already have social followings. And so this is an interesting knock-on effect of the growth of the social media companies you've talked about. They've all allowed these influencers, whether celebrities or native to YouTube or Instagram or Snapchat, to develop a direct relationship with their followers. And that authenticity and the direct connection that their fans and followers have with them has allowed them to launch new brands. And a good example would be Jessica Alba with The Honest Company. Another good example that wasn't venture funded would be Kylie's Cosmetics by Kylie Jenner. Massive businesses, hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, and not built off paid advertising, but off that authentic connection with fans.
It's interesting that you mentioned Kylie, because one tweet from her saying that she doesn't use Snap anymore wiped $1 billion off the company's market cap. And so, there's also a huge risk to being tied to celebrities as well.
I think that it just goes to show how powerful celebrities can be. And if they choose to build brands around that credibility that they have, then you see companies like Kylie Cosmetics or Rihanna with Fenty. And I think we're seeing, I think Gwyneth with Goop is another good example. We're seeing these really big companies being built off of people's ability to connect authentically with their fans.
So what if you're not celebrity-led or celebrity-tied, if you are one of the many, many people who've got booths at TechCrunch who want to break out? What are the prospects in this market?
I think that there's always a great deal of creativity and there's always opportunities to be seen, and that's why I'm here. I'm judging at the TechCrunch Disrupt Battlefield. We're going to see 4 exciting startups, and I'm really looking forward to hear about how they plan to break through.
So where are you putting your money right now?
We've been doing a lot of digitally native vertical brands. We're continuing to see some interesting opportunities in marketplaces. We're selectively making some investments in some potentially disruptive new media and video companies. So there's a lot of exciting stuff happening.
What about What's not hot? Where aren't you putting your cash?
You know, I think it's hard to predict the future. And so I meet each company with an open mind. And you know, back when Snap was started, people were saying that there's no more opportunity in apps and there's no more opportunity in social media. So it really is a case-by-case thing. I don't think you can be too sweeping in saying what is or isn't going to work. And if you have an open mind and you find an extraordinary entrepreneur who really has a new perspective, they can always break through.